Hi everyone, I'm Susan Kurtzman. Welcome again to the Highland House Museum plate project that we're doing in order to have an online auction of the plates that you design for our website this summer. I hope, like the rest of us, you're staying safe and staying home. Today I'm going to talk to you about setting up your workspace. This is something you can do while we're waiting for the glaze to arrive, the underglaze. So you'll have a dinner plate that's bisqued already, which means it's been fired once already. And the other things that I would really like you to have on hand is a container of water. This is just tap water. We also want to have a container of distilled water, and if you don't have distilled water, you can just boil some water and cool it down. And we use the distilled water in order to mix in the colors if you want to thin them a little bit. And the tap water is used to clean your brushes. You want to make sure that you have a nice variety of brushes. I also have a toothbrush too, which I use, and I'll show you how to do that. I've got a fan brush, I've got thin and thick brushes. You can use any kind of brush that you would use with acrylic paint. And if you can't find brushes of your own, you can find them in Provincetown at Conwell Ace Hardware. They have a really nice selection of inexpensive brushes. Of course, you can always get them online. Also, can you put together maybe a piece of cardboard or scrap paper just to test how your brushes work? I want you to make sure that you know how the brushes work for you, especially if you're not used to painting. You want to make sure that you know what the thickness and thinness of each brush is, so that once you get it on your plate, you don't make an error. If by any chance with the underglaze you end up making a mistake, you're going to have to sandpaper it off, and that's why I'd like you to have a little bit of sandpaper. It can be any kind. I've got wet and dry, but I've also got regular sandpaper. There's no way to wash off an error once a plate has been bisqued, but you can always scrub it off with sandpaper. In addition to that, you might want to have a pencil. I like to draw sometimes on the plate. If you want to use templates or any kind of design that you cut out and trace around, you can do that. I sometimes use that for some of the Joby designs. Here's a compass rose. You also want to have a sponge. Now this is my sponge that I use for pottery, but you can also just use a plain sponge from your kitchen. Make sure it's clean. Be better if it was new, and tear it apart in small pieces. And then of course paper towels just for any spills or wipes. You want to make sure your area is nice and clean. It's easy to wipe down, easy to keep clean. You want to make sure your hands are always clean. You shouldn't be eating or drinking while you're making your plate, because anything that you get on the plate could affect the glaze and how it runs, or if it sticks or not. So the other thing, that you'll be getting your underglaze, there'll be different colors. You might want to mix colors. I sometimes just use the top of a plastic container. You can use a paper plate or a plastic plate, or I have this nifty little palette where I can put the colors in and then mix in the middle. But these colors are just like watercolors or acrylics. You can mix them to get other colors. And I guess that's about it. If you have any questions, please email me. You've got my email, jobypottery@comcast.net, and we can talk about this. Next week I'm hoping to get the underglaze delivered from Gare, and then we'll have our Zoom class. In the meantime, set up your space, see what you've got, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.